torch here. Cleaning up my heads now. I got them soaking. I got them soaking in this stuff. You can get this stuff at the dollar store or the Dollar Tree or wherever. It's just totally awesome. It's $1. So I went and bought a whole bunch of these and just I'm soaking the heads in here. And you wouldn't believe, just taking a little brush to them, of the stuff that just comes right off after soaking it in this stuff. And it says to dilute it with water. It don't even bother. I mean, this stuff, it's not like it's going to eat the metal or anything. Just soak the hell out of them. And then what I've been using is just a little brass wire brush. Let me see if I can find it on my junk pile. There it is. It's one of these. It's like a toothbrush. But just been taking it on that stuff every now and then and hitting it. I mean, look how nice that stuff. It's already starting to loosen up and clean up pretty good. I haven't done a whole lot yet, but mostly I've just been soaking them. They've been soaking here for, I don't know, a good couple days already, maybe 3. So, and I just keep flipping them around because I didn't exactly fill the tub up all the way, which I probably should have, but oh well, no big deal. Just keep flipping them. Alright, well, I got one of them all cleaned up pretty much. That awesome stuff ate a lot of the crap off. I mean, it ain't perfect. Let's see here. I'll clean the rest of that stuff up with a wire wheel and a drill. This side I won't, and it clean that up with like some really fine sandpaper or something. You don't want to deform that flat surface. But on the exhaust manifold side, that really doesn't matter. So, but yeah, after a good soaking and a lot of scrubbing, they actually came pretty damn clean. I'm very impressed with that awesome stuff. I probably could have got them spotless if I really wanted to spend the time on it, but this is clean enough for me. I mean, it's clean. Well, now I got them back from the machine shop after a couple of weeks and had them resurfaced. So now I'm working on the valves. So I'm going to grind the valves down myself. Here's the other one. Nice and flat again. So, yeah, if you take all the valves out and the springs and all that, I put them all in a box like this and numbered them. And now I'm going through and cleaning them all and putting them back in one at a time. But I am grinding them. Grinding compound. This is very time consuming, but basically put this little suction cup dealio on there. Put a little bit of that grinding compound on the very edge there. See if I can get a better shot of this. See the very edge where it's clean. Well, it's supposed to be clean. It wasn't clean until I cleaned it up. These things are all full of carbon, which is not good. That probably explains why I wasn't having very good gas mileage or power in the recent times I drove this car. But anyway, I already did those two, so I'm getting ready to do this one. And what you want to do is on this stem here, you want to put I just been putting WD-40 silicone, because some valve guides down in there, they're not really used to this thing spinning in there. They're used to it going up and down, but I figure if I get a little something in there to lubricate it, then it won't make an uneven wear. You know, a lot of other guys suggested just pouring motor oil in there, and I was like, yeah, I want to, but I don't want a big mess. This is messy enough as it is. One thing though is when you are doing this, just put a real small amount of that grinding compound on this very edge, all the way around, just very, very thin. And you just put it back in here, and you spin it back and forth like this, but you use two hands going like this. Can't use my other hand to show you because that's the one holding the camera. But anyway, I'll see if I can set this up and show you the difference in the sound of when you're grinding to when you think you're close to done. Okay, so like I said, just a little splooge here all the way around. I got way too much to start with. Just want a tiny, just get enough to cover that all the way around. Something like that. A little bit too much in spots, but no big deal. And I just spray some of the silicone down in there. Lubricate that rod piece a little bit, or the valve stem, whatever. And you pop her in the hole, and then you just, you hear that, how rough that is? You'll actually hear it, hear the change? That means you're actually getting somewhere. See, now it's a lot quieter. Now watch what happens when I pop this up a little bit and drop it back down. So it's loud again. You gotta keep doing that. You know. Spin it a little while, pop it up, let that stuff work its way back down in there, lift it up again. This takes quite a while. I think I'm spending about at least 5 to 10 minutes on each one of these. Get them perfect. I've been doing this about a total of 3 times. So what I've been doing is when I get to a nice quiet spot like that, and I pull it out and wipe that off and just try to see what the valve itself looks like. It's pretty, this one looks pretty good. Last one I did was an exhaust valve, and it was a little burnt, so I had a little bit of time on that one. And of course I wipe out the inside too, get all that crap out of there. Make sure you wipe it out real good and go through a lot of these nice shop rags, but I suppose I should be using my blue ones, but I don't know what's the difference. These things are the same thing as the blue ones, only they're white. Show more dirt, which is probably a good thing because you want to keep this as clean as possible. See, and then you take a look down in there. You can see that looks pretty good, but I'm going to do it a couple more times yet just to get it as good as it can get. Alright, got some more on there. Still a little bit too much. I would suggest not getting as much on there as I did, but it's not a big deal. Okay. starts out all rough again. That's why I've been doing this. I did it about 3 times on the other one. Yeah. It's pretty quiet until you lift it up a little bit and let some of that stuff move back in there. And grind it down until it gets quieter again. Lift it up again. Keep going. Now there's some other guys on the internet I've seen doing this with a drill. I don't know, I just don't trust that method. It seems like, I think the back and forth motion is what you want. You get more of an even grind on it. You know, and each time I'm going back and forth, I'm going a little far sometimes and letting go. And then, you know, about a 1/4 inch or so. So I think it's just so it hits all the surfaces. I think if this thing just sits there with a drill and just spins around and around and around and around like that, I don't know. I just don't like it. I never tried it though, so I guess don't knock something you didn't try, but I've been doing it this way for a long time. And it always works, so I kind of like to stick with what I know works. Because I'm old. Getting old. Let's see how each time I do this it keeps getting quieter and quieter. That means you're getting there pretty damn good. So now I'll take it out, clean it up again, and hit her again. Alright, so now this will be the 3rd time. See how it gets quieter faster? That means you're getting there. It's usually about 3 times you gotta do it. But if you look in there and you see any little nicks or you got a little pit or a pore or something, you might want to keep hitting it until you can get rid of that, but you don't want to go too far down with these either because you don't want to grind them out of existence. If they get down that bad, then you're going to have to replace the valve seats and probably the valves. And then you're talking machine shop. Because you can't just pop those valve seats out easily. Somebody probably can, but I can't. That would mean machine shop to me. Stuff like that I wouldn't mess with too much. Unless I've done it before and I know what I'm doing. You want to push down on this too at the same time that you're going back and forth. Get a real nice grind going there. Then when you get each valve to where you think it's done, I'm going to put it back in there dry. Give it a little. Now if you hear a squeak, that means you gotta keep going and doing more, but I don't have no squeak. So I'd say she's good. And then after you got that all done, then go in here and I would spray the heck out of this. Clean all that up. Flush out all of the shavings. Everything should be coming out on the back side here. Out of your little intake port. can see. I'm going to get that stuff all cleaned out. Make sure you don't have any more of that valve grinding solution in there, because if you leave any of that in there, it will definitely damage not only your valves but your entire engine. So you want to be very careful not to get this stuff on anything. And even when I'm done with all of this, I'm just gonna probably clean them all down again with WD-40 just to make sure that there's nothing in there anywhere. It's gonna cost a little in WD-40, but that's why I went and bought the big can. And I'm just gonna spray it, put it in a spray bottle and spray it in there and soak everything. And I've actually been stuffing these paper towels down in there too, and just pulling them right through just to get any little tiny bit of debris out of there as possible, you know. And then I'll probably even take the good old air compressor and the blowgun and blow in there quite a few times and make sure. And then I'll go through and blow all of these portholes too, everything, make sure there's no crap in anywhere before I put this all back together. And then I've been doing these one at a time. I already got these two done, but then I pop out the valve seals. Now these things, just get in there with a nice little small screwdriver and pry them up. Don't really worry about if you damage them or not, because they're going in the garbage unless you're going to reuse them. So then I just take that off, take off that nice little washer, give that a good wipe down with the towel, clean it up, take a look at it, make sure there's nothing wrong with it, no cracks, a little bit of dirt in there. I'd keep wiping it, wipe this out. I try and get all this stuff as clean as possible. Funky piece of dirt in there I can't get out. There we go. Alright, put that back in there, and then to put in the new valve seal, all I've been doing is a little bit of this silicone on the rubber. Oh, that was actually probably a lot, but whatever, that'll work. And then you just push these babies down a little bit. And I just been taking a nice old wooden dowel I had around here and just kind of gently tap them down right there. You heard it like pop, like it hit in all the way. Wipe that down again, and that's it for changing the valve seals. And pop your valves back in, and then you put your rocker arms back on. We're good to go. Alright, now I'm going to put the valve springs back on, which you have to do before you put the head back on the engine, because otherwise those valves will drop down and then you're in big trouble. In order to do that, you need one of these. Spring compressor. Or, there's many different versions of this, but this just happens to be the one I have. I've had this since like the mid-80s, so it's old, but it still does the job. So what you want to do, put that spring on there, and you got to take the compression clamp, stick it on there. Kind of hard to do with one hand here. Let me set you down. Just spin the knob on the top, See the knob? Just spin that. Man, I really got to get a tripod for this damn thing. But you can press that baby down as much as you can. Then you gotta take these little keepers here, and what you do is you want to put grease on them. That way it kind of acts as a little bit of glue while you slip them in there. Then they won't fall out. Because if you drop these things, they go bouncing all over the place, and then you can't find them. And it's real fun. And then once you get those keepers in there, see them in there? A little better light, maybe. Ah. Boy. Oh, no wonder I got my hand over the damn camera. Boy, I tell you, I'm just off today. Once you get the keepers in there, then you can just slowly unscrew this, and hopefully they stay in. Just keep checking them, make sure they're still there, and voila, back in. So you just do that on every one of them, and you're done with that. You just don't want to put the rocker arms on until you got it on the engine, because you cannot have the rocker arms in the way of the head bolts. Here, 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 here. The rocker arms will get in the way. And not only that, but you know, then you got to put the push rods in too, in those holes, so you have all that stuff in the way. So you got to wait until you get the head's back on the engine and torqued down and ready to go. Then you can put the rocker arms back on, and then you got to torque down the rocker arms. And I will show you that when we get to that part. But for now, that's basically my tutorial on doing a valve job on a 3.8 Ford. So don't try this at home, kids. Torch out.